पाकिस्तान ने किया, इसको लेकर विदेश मंत्रालय क्या सोचता है, भारत सरकार कैसे?
ठीक है, सिद्धांत।
So Siddharth from Vion. Sir, there are reports from Maldives that India plans to initiate free trade agreement talks. This is something that has been claimed by a Maldivian minister. If you can clarify, or is it correct, sir?
Okay. Ishi?
This is Ayush Shirwal from NI. Sir, how does India sees the current situation which is ongoing in Gaza, especially after the Israeli strike in Rafah that led to the civilian casualties?
Ishi?
Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. What is the situation like in Bishkesh? Because there were contradictory reports coming in saying that the students are in a frenzy and they want to return. Also, yesterday, Dr. Jaishankar had said that the peace process in Ukraine will also have some kind of, not intervention, but he did say that India's inputs would be required. So your comments on that?
Reza?
Reza from the Hindustan Times. Just an additional point to what Ayushi asked. The Norway, Ireland, and Spain have joined the countries that have recognized a Palestinian state. How does India look at that, and the possibility that more countries in Europe will also now recognize Palestine?
Okay. So let's start. Prakash, आपसे शुरुआत करते हैं. देखिए, जिस मुद्दे पे आप हमारा ध्यान लाना चाह रहे हैं, इस पे जो हमारी क्या राय है, क्या हमारा सोच है, क्या हमारा पोजीशन है, उससे तो आप भली भांति अवगत हैं. रही बात कि ये क्या देखने को आ रहा है, तो हम देख रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान में भी अब वास्तविकता पे आधारित नज़रिया सामने आ रहा है और सामने देखा जा रहा है. तो इसी प्रकार से हम जो टिप्पणी की बात कही आपने, उसको हम इस नज़रिए से देखते हैं. We are aware of you are aware of our position on this issue. I need not reiterate that. We note that there is an objective view emerging in Pakistan as well on this particular matter. Siddhant, your question was regarding Maldives. The comments made by their economic minister regarding FTA. On Maldives, we have seen some reports about the minister speaking about we offering FTA. We haven't done so, but if Maldives, if they want to, if they come up with, if they are considering FTA with us, we will surely look into it. Ayushi, current situation in Rafah. On that particular issue, we want to say that the heartbreaking loss of civilian lives in the displacement camp in Rafah is a matter of deep concern for us. We have consistently called for protection of civilian population and respect for international humanitarian law in the ongoing conflict. We also note that the Israeli side has already accepted responsibility for it as a tragic incident and announced an investigation into the incident. So that is our comments on your question. Eshi, on the situation in Bishkek. The situation in the capital of Kyrgyzstan, Bishkek, is normal. Some 2 weeks back or so, There were some incidents involving foreign students, not Indians. Because of that, Indian students got worked up. They were a little concerned. Our embassy swung into action. We established helplines to assist the students. We also took up the matter with local authorities, as also the university administration, so that the welfare and well-being and safety of our students are taken care of. We also, I would like to let you know that this is exam time for our students, and after the exams get over, there'll be summer vacation in which many of them will come back. There are direct flights between Bishkek and Delhi twice a week, and there is direct flight also via Almaty on a daily basis, which can be availed of. And our embassy remains ready to assist our students in whatever manner that the request comes for. On Ukraine, Russia, our position is very well known. External Minister, you heard what External Affairs Minister had to say. We have consistently called for dialogue and diplomacy being the way forward on this particular matter. Raza, on the question that these European countries have now come up and recognized Palestine as to how we look at it, let me tell you that India recognized Palestine way back in the 1980s. It has been a long-standing position that we support two-state solution, which entails the establishment of a sovereign, viable, and independent state of Palestine within recognized and mutually agreed borders, living side by side with Israel in peace. So that is how we look at it. What they are doing now, we already done in the 1980s. Okay, we can take more questions. Uma?
Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. I have two questions. Who is going to represent India at the Swiss Peace Conference, which is taking place next month? And also, who's going to represent India at the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, which is next week in Russia?
Please.
I am Sanjeev Parwa from The Week magazine. This is in the light of the May 13th, Thank you. So has there been any fresh traction on India's part to establish full-scale relationship with the regime in Afghanistan?
Chandrakala this side from ETV Bharat. So there is a report suggesting that Pakistan has repatriated 5 Indian prisoners, including Wahida Begum from Assam and her 11-year-old son. They were detained for over a year in Quetta jail for lacking valid passports and visas. If I can have some more information on this, basically on the other Indian prisoners. Thank you.
Hi, sir. This is Alpi from NBT. So this is about the comment made by U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller. He has recently said that on the issue of religious liberty, U.S. has been engaging with many countries, including India. Your comments, please.
Good afternoon. Livia Rodriguez from Prensa Latina. Recently, the U.S. government removed Cuba from its list of countries that do not fully cooperate with its anti-terrorist efforts. But in a contradictory way, the U.S. government, at the same time, unfairly keeps Cuba on an arbitrary list of states that, according to Washington, are sponsors of terrorism. We would like to know Indians' opinion on this issue, taking into account that this designation by the United States on Cuba affects the Caribbean island possibility to trade with other countries, and is a weapon to apply more unjust coercive measures against the island and tighten the illegal economic blockade that the United States has maintained against the island for more than 60 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Shall we go over these? We have 5 questions here. Huma, regarding peace conference, we have told you earlier also that we have not yet taken a decision on our participation. That decision, as and when it's taken, you will come to know, or we'll announce it. Similar is the case with St. Petersburg Economic Forum. At this point in time, we have yet to take a decision as to who's going to go. You will come to know about it. Sanjeev, regarding your question about Chabahar, we had come out with a press release where we talked about the importance of the project, Chabahar, long-term contract that we've signed. We've also talked about this particular project enhancing connectivity in the region, especially for Afghanistan, where we deliver humanitarian aid and assistance, and also help landlocked countries in Central Asia. So that is how we look at the Chabahar project. As far as Afghanistan goes, that it has been our consistent policy that we support the people of Afghanistan, especially through humanitarian assistance, food, medicines, etc. And we utilize Chabahar Fort for that particular purpose. Chandrakala, your question regarding Indian prisoners coming back from Pakistan. Exchange of prisoners happen between the two countries. It is part of our consular engagement. We have, at regular intervals, such exchanges take place. And the 5 that you mentioned about, including a lady from Assam, is part of this particular exchange. Regarding your question about State Department, some time back when that particular report had come, we had made our position very clear as to what we feel on the question of religious freedom. So I would refer you to please have a look at the statement that we made here. Lydia, your question about Cuba. We have very strong ties with Cuba. We have very friendly ties with Cuba. On the question of terrorism, India is in the forefront of fighting terrorism, cross-border terrorism. We want the global community to realize how important a threat it is to existence, global existence, and we want to strengthen a fight. As far as the particular question that you referred, is a matter between you and Cuba and another country. It is for, that is how we look at it. It's a matter between two countries. But as far as terrorism is concerned, we are strongly, we work with our global partners to strengthen international fight against international terrorism. Shall we go for Abhishek?
Sir, Abhishek from CNN News 18 this side. My question is regarding one of the veteran Indian army veteran who was killed in Gaza, I believe.
Sorry?
One of the Indian army veterans working for UN was killed in Gaza. Do we have any updated report as to what led to the circumstances in which he was killed? Did we also raise the issue with the Israeli government?
Okay. Rishabh?
Good evening, sir. Rishabh from Times Now. So, 2 questions. One, Azerbaijan foreign minister is in Pakistan. He raked up Kashmir in Islamabad, again in a joint statement. Jammu and Kashmir in the joint statement with Pakistan. And second, sir, European Union has announced a grant for Manipur for the hailstorm that has led to destruction of crops in Manipur. How does India see that?
Ghazali?
Yeah, Ghazali from NDTV. So I just want to ask about this Meta adversarial threat report by the Meta. It has released a report citing that how China, some fake accounts operating from China have been struck down from Meta, which used to target the global Sikh community, and also relations of India and Tibet as well. That report mentions that as well. So if you can just...
Maitra?
Nangshu Maitra, independent journalist. Sir, Zabilullah Mujahid, the spokesperson of Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, welcomed the move, as well as welcomed the move of Chabahar. So the bilateral trade is estimated to be something around 700 million plus. So how you expect this could have a push?
Okay. There.
So Dhairya Maheshwari from Sputnik. Sir, I have two questions. The first one is in regards to the G7 ban on Russian diamonds. Sir, the Belgian Industry Association, the Antwerp World Diamond Center, last week they announced that they're in talks with global stakeholders to establish diamond verification centers outside the EU. Now, sir, since significant Indian diamond industry interests are involved in this issue, so would it be able to know if India if there are talks between India and EU to set up a diamond verification center in Surat or maybe in Mumbai? And sir, the second question is in regards to the BRICS. Several countries, including Thailand, Sri Lanka, in recent weeks, they have announced an interest and intention in joining the BRICS grouping. How does India see this? So, thank you.
Can we do these and then come to 1, 2, 3? Okay. Abhishek, regarding your question about the death of Colonel Kale, as we had said earlier also, an investigation has been launched by the Israeli side. We also know that the United Nations Department of Safety, they have also set up a fact-finding mission. We hope that these investigations are concluded soon, and we look forward to it. And also, both our missions in Tel Aviv and also our mission in New York, they are in touch with authorities in regard to the investigation. So we are following up also on the matter. Rishad, the question regarding Azerbaijan, yes, Jammu and Kashmir, our position is very well known, consistent. So I would leave it at that. Regarding your question about assistance rendered by the European Union, we have seen some reports. We've also seen some reports or press release by the government of Manipur on it. We are not aware of this particular assistance having been rendered because we have not been informed of it. We are not aware of it. But we've seen some reports on it. Ghazali, this Meta report that you're talking about, I have not seen this report. It's a private report. So once, let me have a look and then we'll revert to you. Maitra, your question about Chabahar, yes, Chabahar, as I told you, that this is an important project for us to provide connectivity in the area, to provide humanitarian assistance. Through this port, we have for several years provided humanitarian assistance, and this particular project is going to help in connectivity, and connectivity thereafter leads to several other benefits to countries in the region. There is a question about Diamond Verification Center. This is, of course, diamond trade is an important, India is an important player as far as global diamond trade is concerned. We have global manufacturing happening in India. We have one of the major centers of global diamond trade, global polishing, value addition happens in India. We are an important player in that sector. There are strong connections between Surat, Antwerp, and other centers which are on the global diamond map. On this particular issue of Diamond Verification Center, I don't have an update on this, whether it is a matter of discussion between European Union and India or not, but I shall look into the matter and revert to you. On BRICS, we have been consistently saying that BRICS is an important platform for us, and we look forward to our participation in the meetings that will be organized by Russia as chair of BRICS this year. As far as membership of BRICS is concerned, it is for the grouping to decide, and the grouping decides based on the certain criteria that they have laid down. So if the group decides on a particular membership of expansion or to consider a particular country, the group, it will be done so as per the guidelines of the BRICS grouping. Sudhi and Neeraj and Suhasini.
Sir, Sudhi Ranjan from Bloomberg, sir. Any clarity that you can give us on whether US has allowed Indian oil companies to lift oil from Venezuela? And if so, when has these clearances come?
Okay.
Sir, Neeraj from News 18 India. प्रज्वल रेवन्ना के डिप्लोमेटिक पासपोर्ट के कैंसिलेशन मामले में अब तक क्या अपडेट है और क्या उनका डिप्लोमेटिक पासपोर्ट कल एक्सपायर हो रहा है 31 मई को?
ठीक है.
This is Suhasini Heather from The Hindu. One question about the ongoing investigation into the allegations by the US of an assassination for hire over there. We have now passed the 6-month mark since you had announced that India or the spokesperson had announced that India has put in place a high-level inquiry into this. We still don't have details of who's on the inquiry, who's carrying out the inquiry, or any details thereof. Can you please update us on what so far has the inquiry found? Because there have been many media reports about various conclusions being conveyed already to the US, and whether the US or Mr. Gupta has in any way approached the Indian government over his extradition, which will presumably lead to the trial in the US shortly. And if I may, a second question on why has India not supported Taiwan's application for a request to be an observer at the World Health Assembly? Taiwan has been requesting this at least since 2020 and the COVID pandemic. It had observer status from 2009 to 2016. But while the US and other countries have supported that candidature, India has not.
Okay. Sudhi, first, your question regarding oil imports. Some time back, we were importing oil from Venezuela. That was based on the specific approvals that were taken. After that, once those specific approvals or carve-out that was given, they have now expired. I'm not sure of any further developments on that account, but let me have a look into this matter and come back to you. But that is where I feel that till April we were doing it. After that, it has stopped. नीरज, आपका सवाल डिप्लोमेटिक पासपोर्ट को लेके है. मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि 21 तारीख को, इस महीने की 21 तारीख को हम लोग के पास वो रिक्वेस्ट आया था कर्नाटका सरकार से. 23 तारीख को हम लोगों ने शो कॉज नोटिस, जो हमारा प्रावधान है, विधिवत जो प्रावधान है इंडियन पासपोर्ट एक्ट के तहत, हम लोगों ने शो कॉज नोटिस जारी किया उस मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट के नाम पे. उनको दिया गया कि क्या बताइए कि आपका डिप्लोमेटिक पासपोर्ट क्यों नहीं कैंसिल हो सकता है. उसके लिए 10 दिन की अवधि है. 10 दिन के अंदर उनको जवाब देना है. 23 तारीख को हम लोगों ने ये शो कॉज नोटिस जारी किया था. हम लोग उनके जवाब का इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं जवाब मिल जाएगा, उसके बाद हम अपनी कार्रवाई आगे करेंगे इस पे। See, we had received a request from the Karnataka government on 21st May. On 23rd May, as per the Indian Passport Act, we had initiated action for cancellation of passport of Member of Parliament Prajwal Ravanna. On 23rd May, that is, we had issued a show cause notice as per procedure to him. He has to respond to that show cause notice within 10 days, and we are waiting for his response. And accordingly, we'll take things forward once we hear from him or once the 10-day period expires. Suhasini, on a question about the high-level committee, I can only tell you that the high-level committee has been constituted, and the high-level committee is looking into all the inputs that were shared with us. Further than that, I don't have anything to share with you. Regarding Mr. Nikhil Gupta, we understand that the Constitutional Court in the Czech Republic has given a ruling upholding the earlier decisions of the court on the admissibility of the extradition request. Further than that, I don't have any more details. On the question of observer status for Taiwan, whatever decision India is going to take, I'm not sure whether this particular issue has come up for consideration or not. But whatever decision we are going to take will be in keeping with our policy on this matter. Kalol.
So Kalol from the Hindu. My question is regarding the Bangladesh MP Anwarul Anar, who has gone missing, and there are reports that he was brutally murdered and various body parts strewn across Kolkata. So what all details do you have about the case, and was it something somehow related to his business? There are various reports regarding his business activities as well. What more can you share about the case? And was it taken up by the Bangladesh government with the Indian government so far?
So Kalol, what I can tell you is that this particular case is being investigated. Law enforcement agencies from both Bangladesh and India are coordinating, and necessary information is being exchanged. From our side, the government is extending full support to the Bangladeshi side as part of our ongoing investigation in the matter. Enjoy.
So, is there a change in the route of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra? And if there is, can you tell us why, please?
Srinjay, on this particular issue, I don't have an update, but let me get back to you. I'll consult my colleagues and get back to you if there has been a change on it. Siddhant?
So just one short question. There are reports of increased cooperation between Pakistan and China at the line of control in terms of building bunkers and other such military infrastructure. Any reaction to this?
You're talking about the projects in POC?
Yes, sir.
So on POC, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Our position is, we are very consistent in our position. We want to tell you that the whole of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, the Union territories, they are part of India, integral part of India. They were integral part of India. They are integral part of India, and they will remain integral part of India. Our position on CPEC also is well known to you. We are not in favor of it. We are against it. For it goes against our territorial integrity and sovereignty. If we have no more questions, then we call it a day. Thank you very much for your presence.